When you overhear your friends talking about that crazy League of Legends match, do you really understand what they're talking about? Or does it sound like a mishmash of slang and acronyms? For anyone new to the game, I know firsthand that the language can be a bit intimidating. With all these new foreign terms, how are you going to communicate with your team? Really, the last thing you want to do at the start of a draft mode 5v5 on Summoner's Rift is accidentally last hit the Ancient Golem and take your jungler's blue buff after he asks you to leash. To prevent that atrocity from ever happening to you, we're going to define some frequently used terms that you're going to run into playing League of Legends. So let's start with the basics. Champions will fall under one of two categories, AD or AP. AD is short for attack damage. This type of damage is reduced by armor. AP is shorthand for ability power. This type of damage is reduced by magic resistance. There are also skills that apply true damage. True damage is a type of damage that ignores all forms of damage reduction. There are 5 roles to fill: top, mid, ADC, support, and jungle. Top lane champs are typically tanky, melee, bruiser types. One will go top. Mid lane has your AP carries, mages, and sometimes assassins. One will go mid. 2 will go bottom lane. An attack damage carry, otherwise known as a marksman, and a support. A carry, you say? A carry is basically a champion that starts off fairly weak, but then ultimately becomes incredibly powerful. They are expected to do a lot of damage and literally carry the team to victory. There are ability power carries and attack damage carries. And then there's the jungler. Unlike your laning champions who will level up by farming or killing minions in lane for gold, the jungler levels up by farming neutral monsters in the jungle. Here you see the jungler emerging from the river. This is called a gank. Junglers will try and take advantage of losing lanes by ganking them. Something a jungler might ask for at the start of the game is a leash. Leashing is essentially assisting your jungler in defeating Ancient Golem for blue buff or Lizard Elder for red buff. You do not want to last hit the neutral monster or you will acquire the buff, and an angry jungler won't help your lane. You do, however, want to last hit minions. Dealing the final blow will grant you gold and experience and raise your CS. CS stands for creep score. Unless you're a support, you want your CS to be very, very high. Besides farming, you'll have other objectives in lane, taking down the outer turret and harassing enemy champions. For example, ADCs harass by poking with their auto attack. Pro tip, get fed, don't feed. A champion who is fed is a player who has become overpowered by attaining more kills than others in the game. The act of feeding is dying repeatedly to an enemy champion. Vision should be granted by wards and trinkets, so carry them with you. You also don't want to face check a bush. It's a total amateur mistake and a pretty risky move considering it leaves you vulnerable to an unsuspecting attack. Now, I know this can be a lot to take in, but before you know it, you'll be a natural. What we've talked about in this video is really just a briefing. For a more comprehensive list, find the link below to our League of Legends glossary. If we missed any useful terms, let us know in the comments. For more tips and tricks and strategy guides for League of Legends and all your favorite games, head over to primagames.com.